Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining me. I'll look into some more MTG market movers and see what's been happening for the last couple of days. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because there's been some spoilers for Baldur's Gate, and I'll get to that soon, and we'll see if there's been any movements because of that. I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't think there's been anything too extreme because of that, but we know that the new Baldur's Gate is going to be based on D&D, so rolling and dungeons would be big cards that might come back. Maybe they might be more powerful than the first version anyways from the previous set, but we'll see how it goes. So the first card, Leech, Ridden, Swamp. Now this one is actually pretty decent because it makes every opponent lose one life, which is good for the new Vampire, which says whenever an opponent loses life, you get to create blood tokens or something like that, and then you can put vampires out down from the field. So pretty good addition to that deck. Huge spike up. It actually felt like it got a second spike for some reason. Not too sure. Maybe Baldur's Gate did something about it, but we'll have to see why. The spike was March 7th. So, no, Baldur's Gate was too recent. And yeah, what was the main reason for the spike? The vampires came out ages ago, and I think this was the spike back in January. Now, even then, I don't know. This is actually really weird why it would have spiked. Mammoth Harness from Homelands. So once again, Homelands card on the reserve list. Pretty cheap because it's not the best. Complicated text. Literally for 4 mana, enchanted creature loses flying. Whenever an enchanted creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, the other creature gains first strike until end of turn. Yeah, it's weird. It's not that impressive on the reserve list. That pretty much shows the reserve list sometimes has total crap. Mana Bond, on the other hand, is actually a pretty cool card. It can be used in some ways. You can discard your hand, but if you have like 4 or 5 lands, then you can get a bit of a boost, at least for the first turn. Hopefully you draw into some gas, but is it worth $26 average, $11.50 market price? Not too sure why that would be moving. This card has been pretty much averaging around about $6 for the longest time. Really, the longest time. It's got a couple of spikes, but ever since 2020, 2021, it's been about the $6 mark, and now it's just spiking up to $15, so we'll have to see why. Durian Enchantress from 8th edition. Pretty cool card, and whenever you play an enchantment, you draw a card. Really cool art. $2.20 on TCG. Many versions of this card. Like I said, if you're playing an enchantment deck, you're going to want this card in there. Nickaballis from Legends. Legends card, not on the reserve list. You can get one for actually $1.90. That's on the more expensive side. Is it a good card? It's iconic. Very, very iconic. It's Nickaballis. If you really want to get him in that art, you can go for Chronicles. The other ones don't look that good. He's got like a little tiny head. I guess that makes sense, but like I like this one better because it makes him look like he's actually smart, which he is. Lizuka, the Ruthless. Saviors of Kamigawa, it's a samurai, and it helps out samurais. Or at least it has uses with the samurai keyword. Is it actually good? 5 mana for 3/3 with Bushido 2. I'm not actually a big fan of Bushido, but it does say pay 2 and 1 red, sacrifice a samurai. Samurai, another samurai you control. Not samurais. Is that a plural? Samurai you control gains double strike until the end of turn. So you sacrifice one, then another one gets double strike. Most of the time, samurais by themselves aren't that strong, but they are going for some kind of weird exalted theme for this Kamigawa set. So maybe there's some value here, but I actually think that it's spiking and probably should settle down. It's just not that good. Pariah from 10th edition. Enchantment creature. All damage that'll be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead. Actually really good card if you want to play this against Stuffy Doll. With Stuffy Doll, sorry. Or I think there's a brutal something. Forgot what the red version of it is, but a better Stuffy Doll. And I think this card is okay, especially in those kinds of decks, but outside of that, not that impressive. Guardian Beast from Arabian Nights. This card is actually really good. On the reserve list, no other printing of it. As far as you can tell, this is probably going to, I wouldn't say continue going up, but it should stabilize pretty soon. Everything has been dropping off as far as the average price has gone, but you can see the market price is still increasing and now sitting at 970 for TCG player. So what does it say? It's a 2/4 beast for 3 colorless, 1 black. Creature, as long as Guardian Beast is untapped, non-creature artifacts you control can't be enchanted. They have indestructible, and other players can't gain control of them. This effect does not remove auras already attached to those artifacts. Yeah, it's it's actually really good. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That's broken. Master of the Hunt from Legends. 2 colorless, 2 green for a 2/2 summon Master Human. 2 colorless, 2 green, put a 1/1 green wolf creature token named Wolves of the Hunt onto the field. It has band with other creatures named Wolves of the Hunt. Any creature named Wolves of the Hunt can attack in a band as long as it has at least one band. At least one has bands with other creatures named Wolves of the Hunt. Bands are blocked as a group if at least 2 creatures named Wolves of the Hunt you control, one of which has band with the other creature named Wolves of the Hunt, are blocking or being blocked by the same creature. You divide that creature's combat damage, not its controller, among any creature it's blocking or blocked or blocking. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so glad that they don't have banding anymore, but on the reserve list, $69 on TCG. Nice. I mean, it's cool. If you're playing a wolf deck, it's unfortunate this is on the reserve list for a $124 card. Other than that, it's actually kind of cool. It's just annoyingly complicated. I really wish they just said this wolf just gets +1/+1 for each other wolf that's part of the pack or something. It just makes more sense. And for 4 mana, 1/1 that then becomes a 2/2, then a 3/3, and a 4/4. And at that point, you've already spent 16 mana. It's Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't deserve to be on the reserve list, but you never know. Kali of the Vast from Double Masters. Now, the reason why this is on there is because New Capine has been spoiled, and it does look like it's going to have some demons and some possibly angels and possibly dragons. There's always going to be dragons, which means Kalia is just going to be cool because of the fact that you can get these new demons, dragons, and angels onto the field faster. Siege Behemoth from Commander Anthology. 5 mana, 2 green for a 7/4 beast, which has hexproof. As long as Siege Behemoth is attacking for each creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it were not blocked. $1.50. Not bad, but 7 mana. You're on green, but you can get to that pretty fast. Angelic Destiny actually has a bit of a pullback, so I'm surprised it's on this list. It's been growing by quite a bit, but just in the last day, it's been pulling back. Pulling back, but not hitting its max. Good card. I remember playing with this card way... how many years ago was that? 2012, does it say? Really? I don't remember playing with it back then, but maybe that was the case. So it hit a peak of $11 back then. $5.75 right now, still pretty expensive and probably not going to get any cheaper. It's a really good card. Moving over to Mtg Goldfish to see what's been happening. The biggest gainers on the standard is Behemoth Massacre. Actually, you know what? That's probably climbing because of Commander anyways. Otwara Soaring City, that's just actually a really good card. Pathways, they're just pretty good mana fixing. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's not bad, but it doesn't. The first one doesn't give it haste, so it's obviously only being used in certain places, and that's not. It probably is actually being used in standard. It just doesn't feel that impressive. The rest of them, nothing too crazy. Portable Hole, $3.25. Biggest moves for Modern Urza, another 21% gain this week. It's now sitting at $74.44. That's insane. That card was $40 for the longest time, and it never dropped below that either. Such a broken card. I don't even feel like there's much use of it in Commander unless you're playing some very highly competitive Commander with your friends. In which case, go for it. Dolmen Gate, 29% gain to now sit at 21.828. Force of Vigor, 13% gain to now sit at 34.56. And a Besieger who shelters all, which I'm pretty sure just got a secret layers printing. For some reason, gaining 11% to now sit at $40. Sea Chrome Coast gaining 14% to now sit at $21. And Myron, the Morning Well, 11% gain to now sit at $24.45. Biggest drops, Nirvana Revenant, 10% drop, sit at $13.58. That got new printing anyways in the new Spirits. No, not Spirits. It got a printing, but I forgot where. New art as well. I think it was a Commander deck, but I'm actually not too sure. Oh, it's a Vampire. So it would have gotten a new printing in the new Vampire deck. Yes. And Pioneer, Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Actually, none of these is actually over 10%, except for Sword of the Animist, and that's just a good card. So $9 gain, Commander card anyways, 11% gain. Moving on to the spoilers, New Capena. So we've got the dual lands coming in from Battleborns. Those are the Battleborn dual lands. Now we've got the other side, which is as long as you have 2 or more opponents, they come in for both colors. Funny thing is, these being in a standard set, was Battleborns ever part of a standard? The New Capena is part of standard, which means that these being in here means standard is not getting any dual lands this round or nothing useful because they come in tapped, which means they're either going to have to fix your mana with just coming in tapped or reflecting pool is going to be in every deck. But, maybe that's the case. Commander Legends from Battle for Baldur's Gate. So we've got some art, pretty creepy looking squid thing. I forgot what that is. Not too sure who she is. I haven't actually played Baldur's Gate. Wait, is this? Oh no, sorry, I messed up. This is not New Capena. That's Baldur's Gate land, which is showing the fact. Then that makes sense because it's not going to be part of standard. It's just going to go straight to Commander. And for New Capena, you got these 5 demons. Wait, does this guy look like Thanos? Who's this guy? I actually don't know who this is, but he looks like Thanos. And I was wondering if they were actually going for a Thanos vibe because he's got like the suit, the look, the rings. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to go for like killing half the population for the betterment of the city or something. Broker's Ascendancy, 1 green, 1 white, 1 blue for an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, which is actually really good. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each planeswalker you control. Right into an Atraxa deck you go. Zaitora, Proving Grounds. All of the Triumphs are back. The other half of the Triumphs are back. And these will not be as confused for pricing as the previous ones. These will probably sit at $10 to $12 to maybe even $15 constantly, unless there's a lot more of these and there was another one. Because the other ones, people just didn't know what the value was. And then it climbed to like $15. I'm 100% sure these are just going to be stuck at that. And you got the secret layers for Stranger Things cards. You got 11 and the other kids and the Mind Flayer. I don't know what that is, but it's a land that makes investigation. Investigation stuff. Anyway, this is pretty cool. It pretty much cancels out the fact that the secret layers is now meant to be unique. Nope, they're not going to be unique. Every card in secret layers, especially these, what would you call them? The reskinned cards. The reskin will come first as a secret layers, and then they'll be printed in a future set, like what they've just done now, which should, in a lot of ways, lessen the need for people to go out of their way to buy secret layers. In my mind, I just think that's the case. And truthfully, I didn't buy the secret layers for Stranger Things. I didn't buy The Walking Dead, and I didn't buy the fight. The latest one, Street Fighter. God, I don't know why I'm losing my mind. It's 10 o'clock, I guess. But yeah, and the reason why is I just didn't find them unique enough to try. And if I was going to really be invested in it, I can just see if I can proxy those cards. But now you don't even need them because I'm 100% sure these are not going to be expensive cards. These 7 cards are probably not going to be expensive. Maybe one of them might be. But the rest of them, there's 2 printings of it now, so they're not going to be that expensive. And as for Baldur's Gate, you got the lands. You got Ancient Brass Dragon, 5 colors, 2 black for a 7/6 Elder Dragon with flying. So 7 mana for a 7/6 with flying. Pretty decent, but nothing that protects it. It has to do the next part, which is whenever Brass Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. When you do, put any number of creature cards with a total mana value X or less from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, where X is the result. If you roll a 1, you're stuffed. But if you roll a 20, you're going to get every single card there. And truthfully, you don't need anything more than a 7 to get most of them by the looks of it. Because it's... Oh, no, sorry. Total mana value. Okay, no. So the higher your mana, you can get up to 20 mana's values worth of creature cards from every graveyard. To get the most value out of this, you're going to have to play some kind of weird Kalia graveyard deck, which I at some point did have. I just don't know if it's 100% worth it because people just have better, more efficient decks nowadays anyways. Fireball, pay X 1 red for sorcery. This spell costs 1 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Great in that new thing that reduces it by 1. Fireball deals X damage divided evenly rounded down. Okay, sure. Among any number of targets. So, I mean, you don't want to roll any weird odd numbers. Lightning Bolt, 1 red for dealing 3 damage. Hey, look, it's back. Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes, 2 colors, 1 red, 1 green for a 3 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker, which can be a commander. When Minsk and Boo enters the battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you create a Boo legendary 1/1 red hamster creature token with trample and haste. That's 1 angry hamster. But the best part is this card is actually insane. Put 3+1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature with trample and haste. Hey, look, Boo. Boo's a 4/4. On the turn, Minsk enters the field, and you can sacrifice a creature to deal X damage to any target, or if that creature was Boo, which I don't know why you do it, except for the fact that every turn you can create a new Boo, you will draw X cards, which is 4 minimum if you're smart. But you can even do this for just 1 if you're digging. It's just you want to make sure that you can always cast this guy without getting up to like the 8-10 mana budget for your commander. But you're in green, so you might actually still be good. This guy is a very big beatdown. Wand of Wonder, 3 colors, 1 red for an artifact. Pay 4, tap, roll a d20. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. Then shuffle the rest of their library. You may cast up to X instant or sorcery. You may cast up to X instants and sorcery cards from among cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Wait, so if you roll a 4, like, oh no, okay, so, okay, sorry, I didn't read the next part. So 1 to 9, X is 1, 10 to 19, X is 2, and 20, X is 3. Okay, so if you roll 1 to 9, you can pick one person's instant or sorceries and cast it, and then it goes up from there. That's fine. And this Elder Brain one is the one I'm interested in because I have a horrors deck. 5 colorless, 2 black for a 6/6 creature horror with menace. When it attacks a player, exile all. So it doesn't have to deal damage, it just has to attack. Exile all cards from that player's hand, then they draw that many cards. You may play lands and cast spells from among the exiled cards as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though were mana of any color to cast it. Cool. It's a bit expensive because of my deck's black and blue, which is not the best for ramping into a 7 mana drop that doesn't even protect itself. But the fact that you can get some cool value and it exiles and does the fancy things, pretty good. Creepy art, perfect for a horror deck. And last little bit, which is lands. So the dual lands were revised. I've been calling it something is changing with the market currently. Things are starting to droop off. We're going to have to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. It's always a slow process at the start. I myself have not sold anything because I just don't need the money right now. If prices go down to maybe half of what they are now, I'll probably think about picking some more up unless something really changes with my financial status. Otherwise, yeah, let's see what happens with this. Yeah, it does say it's moving back up, but I just don't know if that's actually the case. But have to see. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching and have a good day. See ya.